Okay, we'll start with this. Two very telling posts from the one and only Amanda Serrano, the 7-weight world champion, who said, "Woke up to a bunch of meetings and business dealings. My manager is making sure that I stay growing as a businesswoman. Boxing positioned me to achieve this all. My final year in boxing is already merging in with my new chapter of my life. All my goals have been met. Only thing I've added for me is breaking my girl Christy Martin's 21-year record of 32 KOs. I'm at 31. Let's go. Then I'll go. I'm blessed." So that puts extra emphasis on her upcoming fight with Cheyenne Henson of Germany to not only win the fight, which I know she can, but win it in style. Win it by way of knockout. Cheyenne Henson, a veteran of 19 professional bouts, has never been knocked out. She's lost 2 of them, but she's never been stopped. Amanda continued, "Today's sparring session was real wicked. Gym was hot and my sparring partner was instructed to be rough. My coach is so demanding it's impossible to have fun in there. If it's not challenging me mentally, he doesn't count it. My career is about done." Did you guys hear that? For the people in the back, soon enough I'll be able to just train to stay in shape, not to fight. Yay! 17 plus years as a pro. That's right, soon enough Amanda Serrano will be able to eat heartily, eat plentifully, without having to worry about staying close to fight weight, and I imagine that the weight is going to look good on her. Though she didn't say that for no reason. She's making it known that this is her final year in the sport of boxing while looking to break Christy Martin's current knockout record, the most of any woman boxer, 32 recorded knockouts. Amanda just needs 2 to break it. But if she doesn't by year's end, I'm not getting the impression that she's going to stick around long enough in pursuit of that. This is it. She's going to have this fight with Cheyenne Henson on the undercard of Han versus Holm 2, then one more fight before the year is out. And afterwards, that's it. Nothing more to prove and nothing left to do. She's already been a champion at 7 weights and undisputed. The message in the bottle, when you read in between the lines, and who's it really for? It's for Alicia Baumgartner, who's taken a liking to calling out Katie Taylor and calling out Amanda Serrano, both of which everybody knows are on the eve of retirement. Thus, you can't use them as a crutch to not fight other people. You have to make your own way. Not saying that Alicia isn't, because her victories over Terry Harper and Michaela Mayer and becoming undisputed, it's all well and good, but now you can't use the names of 2 fighters that are very close to the end as a reason to not fight somebody else. You have your own adversaries, your own contemporaries, your own rivals. Michaela Mayer is still out there. Caroline Dubois, she is too. I think Alicia is only about 31, maybe 32 years old, still young, with many good years left to give to the sport, but the way she's been moving lately, you just get the impression she wants to move on too. She wants to transition to other things. Maybe make one last big score with a big name like Katie or a big name like Amanda, then go on to do movies and television, things of that nature. But Amanda's letting it be known. Don't let me be the reason that you're not fighting someone else, because I'm almost out of here. I'm almost done. I believe that's Amanda's way of letting Alicia know without saying it directly. She's letting her down gently. Listen, sweetheart, I've got a date with a patio chair and a Mai Tai, couple of strawberry daiquiris. I'm not going to be around here long. What you've got to do is go do what you've got to do with your adversary the same way I did with mine. You can have a big fight, a big transatlantic showdown with Caroline Dubois. And the sooner the better, because she's got time on her side. Alicia is a few years older than Caroline, so the sooner you handle that, the better. But don't tread on me. Don't fall back on my name and throwing it around in interviews as a reason not to do what you've got to do, because we've all got to do what we've all got to do. And that's what you've got to do. Me, I'm almost done. So as one very decorated fighter charts her exit, another charts his return. As Bob Arum on Vasyl Lomachenko says,
"I don't know what, if anything, he's lost."
The development, which was first reported by The Ring's Mike Coppinger, came as somewhat of a surprise, especially since Lomachenko passed on high-profile fights along the way and officially announced that he was riding off into the sunset 11 months ago. But Lomachenko's promotional contract with career-long promoter Top Rank expired this past week, apparently giving Loma even more reason to lace the gloves up again, searching for a significant fight without any tune-ups. The landscape for Lomachenko, 18-3, with 12 knockouts, a former 3-weight world champion, from featherweight to lightweight, would entail potential fights against top draws like Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson are top-rank aligned upstart lightweight champions Abdullah Mason and Raymond Murataya.
I don't know what, if anything, Lomachenko has lost with a 2-year retirement.
Top-ranked boss Bob Arum told reporters, but Loma hasn't actually been gone that long. It may feel like 2 years, but it's only been 11 months.
So for me to hypothesize how he would do with all these younger guys would be wrong. We'll just have to wait and see. I don't know what his financial situation is. He earned a lot of money with us. He lives in Ukraine, and there are a lot of problems there. Maybe he needs money, or maybe he's just anxious to get out the house. But Loma represents the best of what boxing has to offer. I wish him the best because he was great warrior for us. He really epitomizes the best in boxing.
Lomachenko last fought in May of 2024, scoring an 11th round stoppage of George Kambosos in Australia for the vacant IBF lightweight title, which he vacated upon retirement. Before announcing his retirement, the two-time Olympic gold medalist was in talks to face Tank Davis in the fall of 2024, but the Ukrainian passed on the bout as he endured lingering back issues. It remains to be seen what the desired weight will be for Lomachenko's return. Even during his heyday, Lomachenko maintained that he felt too small at 135, at which he fought his last 10 fights of his career and suffered competitive losses along the way against his toughest opponents in Devin Haney in 2023 and Teofimo Lopez 3 years prior. So when you hear the veteran promoter wish Vasyl Lomachenko all the best as he lavishes praise upon him, speculating as to why exactly he's coming out of retirement, you get the sense that he ain't the one behind it. He ain't been talking to this guy, and if and when Vasyl Lomachenko comes back, it won't be under the top rank banner, which is what I've been saying. I think most people out there right now, they think he's gonna go to Zuffa, like I've been saying. Left heartbroken after the controversial loss to Devin Haney, you have to imagine Vasyl Lomachenko doesn't have the same appetite for pursuing undisputed, chasing down each one of those alphabet titles anymore. So if he's coming back, it's just not about that. Whether he comes back at 135 or 130. Mike Coppinger reports the story as Vasyl Lomachenko wanting to dive back in the biggest fights possible. But what are the biggest fights for Vasyl Lomachenko in 2026 and without any tune-ups? That it was Mike Coppinger that reported it and not somebody else, that sort of gives it away that it could be Zuffa. Because Mike Coppinger works for Ring Magazine, which is owned by Turkey, who's connected to Zmuffa. Because it wasn't Lance Pugmire that broke the story, or Dan Raphael, and bear in mind, these are well-connected journalists that are in the loop and in the know. It was Mike that broke the story. He heard it first. Zmuffa! And now they're speculating at what weight will Vasyl Lomachenko return in when for years he said that he felt small at 135. Maybe he returns at 130. The thing is, Zuffa doesn't have a 130-pound division for him to fight in. They don't do the juniors and the supers like super featherweight or junior welter. They do have a developing lightweight division that's still coming together, and when they say big fights for Loma, big fights right away, that's just code for big purses. Because it would have took big money to bring him out of retirement. This may sound disappointing to some people, some hardcore Vasyl Lomachenko fans, but don't think of his ring return as a return to the same old shit and the same old things, the return to legacy and the pursuit of undisputed. At his age, that just doesn't matter as much anymore, and as many times as he's been screwed over by the sport of boxing, constant fouling and low blows in what was the Orlando Salido fight or the controversial decision in the Devin Haney fight, he's not going to have the same passion for things. He's jaded. What's really bringing him out of retirement is the opportunity to make the kind of money that he didn't make at Top Rank. And that's not saying that Top Rank shorted him, but he already charted his exit from the sport at the time that Turki El Sheikh made his entry into the sport. He's one of the few big names that didn't box on one of Turkey's shows and didn't collect a big Saudi bag. So that's what he's back for. via Zuffa, and they're going to use him as a promotional tool, a familiar face to legitimize their Zuffa lightweight title, because that's what I think it's all for. You can't claim that Vasyl Lomachenko isn't the real deal, that he's not one of the best, or that he isn't known, that he isn't accomplished, so by having him hold that Zuffa lightweight title, they figure they can legitimize it. But who does he fight? That's where you want to pay attention to the upcoming Rayo Valenzuela versus Edwin De Los Santos rematch scheduled for 10 rounds in the men's lightweight division. Both fighters have signed to Zuffa, and I imagine that the winner of that fight scores a Vasyl Lomachenko fight towards the end of this year, when Loma's said to be returning. Scheduled to go down on the 28th of next month, that would give the winner of the fight ample opportunity to prepare to face Loma in the fall or winter months. I don't know that Loma has been training all this time, and I don't even know that it was his initial plan to return. That's what some people think, that all this time he was just waiting out his top rank contract because of how everything happened, that the announcement of his return was made the day the contract expired. It's quite a fucking coincidence. But what I think is a little bit different. I don't think it was Loma's original intention to return. I believe that at some point at the beginning of this year, Zuffa got in contact with that guy, at which point he does wait out his top-rank contract. Maybe he was waiting it out, but not as long as people think. That he didn't announce his retirement because he was waiting out that contract. He really did retire, and he probably meant to stay retired up until Zuffa gets in contact with him, makes him a big cash offer to come box for them. He accepts it, but he's still got to wait out the top-rank deal because it's still active and it's still actionable. That's the way I think it happened, and this is who I expect him to fight. The winner of Rayo versus De Los Santos 2 for the inaugural Zuffa belt, because an inaugural Zuffa champion hasn't been crowned yet. Even though I don't think Loma's back for legacy, he's mostly back for money. Fighting the winner of this fight, still a credible opponent, still a credible scalp, and at 38 years old, it could be challenging. Strategic placement of the fight. If they do it on Paramount Plus and they are able to deliver those metrics to that platform, that's a good move. And deliver that fight to the consumer at no additional charge, no paywall, no pay-per-view. It's a good move too. I don't know for how long in this situation Vasyl Lomachenko means to keep boxing. Maybe 2 to 3 more fights? Little over a year, something like that. I don't expect it to be an extended stay. But that is how I think it breaks down. That is what I think is going on, and that's what I expect to see as more information is disseminated. And now it's time for another installment of what has fast become the most popular segment here on the channel, Ring IQ Hate Mail! Jerry's back. Fucking God. And guess who he wants to talk about? Jerry said, Ring IQ, simply put, I wish I could call in on your panel so we could have a full discussion, but you may mute me if things don't go your way. The only thing that would get you muted on my panel is if you do what you did before and shout over everybody doing your best impression of a WWE character. He said, you never give your audience complete facts. I get it. You have to keep your narratives cooking. Jerry, I don't think you know what a narrative is. So many people throw that word around in boxing not knowing what it means. I've pooled all the relevant information from all these different sources to paint the entire picture to characterize why I don't think David is fighting in September and why he may not fight again. That's not a narrative, Jerry. That's me telling you what I think and how I got there. Now, would you prefer that I not include those details, those sources, and not tell you why I don't think he's going to fight in September, or why he may not fight at all, since you want to call it all a narrative? He said, keep in mind, that's no different than the other YouTube channels you claim are terrible content creators here in America. If I'm no different than them, then you should be spending more time with them and more time over there, since they're quicker to lavish praise on David than I am. They are likely to pander to people like you and whisper sweet nothings in your ear, tell you what you want to hear, but you come here for something else. You come here because you know I'm often right. It means a great deal to you to stick around long enough to finally have a gotcha moment. Because you haven't had one yet. Now, you say that you wish that you could have a full discussion about the subject on my panel, but I let you on my panel before, and all you wanted to do was commandeer the live, shout over everyone, and do your best impersonation of a WWE character. Save the characters for the video games. I'm 43 fucking years old. Do you think I want an online stranger shouting over me? You say that you want to have a discussion when all you really want to do is get platformed. You want an audience of your own. You want someone to spout your nonsense to, and I maintain that it must mean a great deal for you to prove me wrong because you keep coming back here. But at this age, I really don't like people wasting my time. Time is precious. So I'll level with you, Jerry, because I've got a little summer sale going. For you. Just for you.
Just for you, Jerry.
You cash at me $50 to make an appearance on the panel. I won't mute you. I won't kick you out. I won't interrupt you. I won't do nothing. I will sit there and listen to you spout whatever the fuck it is you want to spout. Whatever the fuck it is you have to say so badly that you have to say it to me. And if you don't have Cash App, you can send it in the form of a super chat. But if you're going to send it in the form of a super chat, the price goes up to $60. Because the thing about those super chats is those proceeds get divided between me and YouTube. So it's going to cost you a little bit more to do it that way. If you really got to say something that you have to say. Say it that way, because I don't want to talk to you people for free. That is just me being honest. My social battery can't run but for so long, and I can only listen to so much nonsense and so much fanboy drivel. The guy almost never addresses any of the talking points I raise, all of which are matters of fact, not fiction, not opinion, while begging me to give him an audience, but to listen to what? Your fucking feelings? I am not your therapist. I've already done the legwork, already done the research, posted the receipts, cited the sources, none of which is a matter of debate. It's all a matter of fact. So what is it that you have to tell me that you couldn't have said in the comments section? What major details did I deliberately leave out that you couldn't have cited yourself in the comment section of your own post? With links. $50. 50 via the Cash App or 60 in a super chat. And you get to come on and say whatever it is you didn't say in the comments. That's how it is, Jerry. Because I don't like talking to people. And I don't like people talking to me.
$50 to $60, Jerry. You pick your poison.
Otherwise, you can stay in the comment section with your finger firmly pressed on the caps lock button and type whatever you want to type.
See if I care.
Though I'd wager, if there were any major details that I left out, you would have cited them yourself in your own comment. This is the digital era. There's always enough of a paper trail on any given subject that if what you're saying is true, it should be easy to cite. It should be easy to source. I know because I do that all the time, which is why you come here